Namaste. Have you been a lover and student of yoga for some time now? Well, we get it, so are we. Nicole and I are somayoga therapists certified by the International Association of Yoga Therapists, which is IYT. And bar none, we would agree that yoga is an amazing practice. It builds strength and intimate connection with oneself, and its very practices teach us to shift our busy minds inward to realize the deeper truth of who we are. Yoga means to yoke or to unite, and when incorporating yogic philosophy on and off the mat, it uplifts us, it supports us when life gets hard, and it builds stress resiliency so that we can handle what comes at us with sovereignty and self-compassion. So I was in Edmonton 3 weeks ago visiting family, and when I was there, I attended a bunch of hot yoga classes. I tend to go to my favorite studio, which is Moto Yoga in Sherwood Park. And the classes there are large and full, and they really are a refuge from the long, dark winters that we have here in the Yukon. Personally, I go for the heat and I go to sweat and to move my body intelligently. What strikes me as a conundrum, though, in these classes is how effortful people practice, how there are grunts and groans and a pushing to the limit to try and achieve a deeper posture or a fuller range. All this to say that I kept thinking how the experience for these yogis would change if they knew how to pandiculate. I also couldn't help but think that if the teachers at these popular yoga venues understood how to incorporate somatics or blend somatics with their yoga knowledge and teaching, how much more rich and deep the practitioners could go to release tight muscles and gain functional strength. So if you're anything like me, you've likely had the experience of moving into a pose time and time again, year after year, and you felt there was a limitation to your range of motion. Or after not practicing for a few days or weeks, you have felt like you went right back to where you started. And this can be super frustrating. Or if you're a practicing yoga therapist, you may be like Nicole and I and have been stumped as to why you're not getting the results you desire with your clients. If any of this resonates with you, then this video is for you. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future posts. It's here that we will teach you why you should add somatics and pandiculation to your personal or professional practice. We will support you to gain understanding of why stretching has limitations, why you may still have back pain or other pains even after practicing yoga as much as you do. And for the yoga therapists out there, we will teach you how to use the somatic technique of pandiculation to up-level your private practice. Before I knew somatics, I just knew that there was something missing. I'd be working with a client and I would try everything that I knew therapeutically, yet restriction would persist, or I would get stumped on what was going to work. Then a colleague of mine introduced me to somayoga and somatics, and it truly changed my personal and professional practice. Here are 10 things you need to know about the limitations of stretching and forcing a stretch, and why pandiculation is an intelligent addition that lands lasting results. Number 1, for muscles to be functional, they need to contract fully and release fully. So they need to be able to contract well. Number 2, despite the way people reference muscles using the word muscle memory, muscles do not have brains of their own. Muscles are controlled by the brain and the nervous system, and the brain is what tells a muscle or chain of muscles to contract and release. Number 3, it is also our brain and nervous system that learn to hold muscles short and tight where they are unable to release fully. So this habituation or learned shortening impedes our range of motion, affects our muscular control, and it can be felt as tightness and pain. This learned shortening often happens below our level of awareness. Number 4, if the brain is what is controlling tight muscles, then logically we must use the brain to release and re-educate those tight muscles, making them functional again. Number 5, stretch reflex is an autonomic reflex designed as a protection mechanism to prevent tearing of your muscles. The stretch reflex is not controlled by the higher functioning center of the brain. It is a monosynaptic response that is transmitted only from your muscle to your spinal cord. Number 6, so what happens when you stretch or force tight muscles? Well, your body activates that stretch reflex to protect the muscle that is being stretched beyond its limit or beyond its normal range. The reflex explains the feelings of more tightness after static or forced stretching than before. Number 7, in contrast, pandiculation involves the cortex of the brain. It's a 3-step process involving, number 1, a conscious contraction. Number 2, a slow conscious lengthening. And 3, conscious rest of the muscle or chain of muscles being pandiculated. Number 8, pandiculation is a process that allows you to regain full cortical control over changing the resting tonus of your muscles. So this essentially means that the process teaches the muscles how to lengthen long again, releasing those habituated patterns of tightness. Yay! Number 9, pandiculation is highly effective at eliminating chronic muscular pain and changing postural and movement patterns across the entire body. And number 10, once you understand the concept of pandiculation, you can replace any common stretch with pandiculation to get fuller ranges of motion, to release unwanted tension and pain, and to notice your strength and stability just naturally increases. We want you to transform your yoga practice and get you thinking differently about how you can get the most out of the practices you love. So now, let's get you practicing. We invite you to start learning pandiculation with the powerful practices of arch and flatten and arch and curl, which you can find right here on our channel. Pay attention to how you move into a forward fold after pandiculating your trunk muscles. What do you notice? How has your range of motion changed? This is truly just the tip of the iceberg. After you have spent just 10 minutes a day exploring arch and flatten for about a week, we invite you to head to our video on demand channel and watch a pre-recorded class called Replace These Common Stretches with Pandiculations. Again, you can find the link below. So if you are new to our channel, you're a yoga teacher, a yoga therapist, or a practicing yogi, then we invite you to subscribe and learn powerful practices that speak the language of your nervous system. You do not have to be in pain to learn with us. If you like this video, please click like below. And thanks so much for watching.